I bought the luxury transport Jumpstart Beluga liner from the ARX store. Why, you may wonder? It is a completely nonsensical pre-built ship. But, alas, I've never owned a Beluga, and my AX skills have been getting rusty with all this colonizing. So this felt like a fun little challenge. That, and Yamix's face when I bought it and named it Yamix's favorite while co-streaming with him, was worth the full $20 I paid and then some. To stick to the spirit of this challenge, I decided that I would not change an iota of the core internals and optional internals of the ship, if not for allowing myself a bit more engineering than the default. I only changed the hardpoints and the utility slots. The result is a ship with 4 luxury, 1 first class and 3 business class cabins, which is clearly in the top 1% of Hydra-killing liners out there. It also has a shield, which is really just a liability against the Hydra. I turned that off. That left me with just 719 hull hit points, with no repairs of any kind whatsoever. Now, I've killed Hydras with a ship with as few as 136 hit points, but that happened to be in a Viper Mark III, and one thing I quickly found out is that, go figure, a flying barn which is slower than the Swarm and the Interceptor ends up taking a lot more damage than a tiny fighter, which also happens to be the fastest ship in the game. I also tried to get it to a complete zero rebuy by seeing if I could replace flak launchers with their CG Rewards festive counterparts, which however only do 1% of their normal siblings damage. That was a terrible idea, and I ended up swallowing my pride and accepting a rebuy of 44,000 credits, since for convenience I also slapped on an enhanced Xeno scanner. This absolute abomination of an AX build is listed in the video description below, so you can steer well clear of it and of anything like it. Anyhow, time to roll, and of course, we will pick up some passengers before we roll. This is a liner after all. This fight was tough, even by my standards. It was tough because I had to minimize damage in a slow ship with a humongous target profile while lasting a whole hour and every now and then also trying to do some damage to the toughest NPC in the game. Also, with all this colonizing, a lot of my skill issue using mod shots crept back, which meant I had to re-exert Hydra hearts several times. Luckily, this thing has heatsinks for days, so that was not all that much of a problem. Flying the Beluga in AX combat is quite something. Given its weak lateral thrusters, this ship is a boost orbiter. However, you're not boost orbiting a nimble Craig Mark II, you're boost orbiting a frigging flying hotel. It works, but man, you have to really exert yourself to make it work. It took me about 5 tries to get the hang of it, but eventually I did. And when things clicked, I got into a good rhythm in destroying swarms first and hearts thereafter, while kiting around while waiting for shields to decay in between hearts. Alas, 4 hearts in, and the first 4 hearts are by far the hardest part of the fight, the Hydra decided to bug out, quite literally, and high-waked on me. Since at this point I still had 60% hull left and a ship in tip-top combat shape, I decided that I'd declare victory, especially since there was quite some irony of a Hydra high-waking on the luxury transport Jumpstart Beluga liner after being half-killed. So you've seen Yamix's favorite in action. I am probably never going to use this ship ever again, but it was fun to try, and I've learned a few good things in the process. Glory to mankind, Commander Mechan out.